اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Abu Umama radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whenever Jibreel alayhi salam came to me, he emphasized upon me to use the miswak. He stressed this so much that I feared grazing my lips from the constant use of the miswak. Mentioned by Ahmed. Aisha radiallahu anha narrates that whenever the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam got up from his sleep, whether during the day or the night, he would use the miswak before performing wuzu. Mentioned by Abu Dawud. Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when a person uses a miswak and stands up for salah, an angel stands behind him and listens attentively to his recitation. He then goes very close to the person until he places his mouth on him. Every word of the Quran which the person recites then goes directly into the angel's stomach, and he thus becomes the beloved of the angels. You should therefore purify your mouth for the recitation of the Quran. For example, use the miswak. Mentioned by Bazzar. Aisha radiallahu anha narrates that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, 2 rakats of salah performed after using the miswak are better than 70 rakats performed without using the miswak. Mentioned by Bazzar. Huzaifa radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that when the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to get up for tahajjud, night salah, he would clean his mouth thoroughly with the miswak. Mentioned by Muslim. Shurayh Rahimahullah narrates, I asked Aisha radiallahu anha saying, what was the first thing which the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did when he entered his house? She replied, he would use the miswak. Mentioned by Muslim. Zayd ibn Khalid al-Juhani radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would not leave his house for any salah until he used the miswak. Mentioned by Tabarani. Abu Khaira al-Subahi radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates, I was part of a delegation which came to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He gave us twigs of the arak tree to use as miswak. We said to him, O Messenger of Allah, we have branches of the date palms which we use for miswak, but we will accept this gesture and gift of yours. Mentioned by Tabarani. The merits of the masjid. Quranic verses. Allah Jalla Jalaluhu says, إِنَّمَا يَعْمُرُ مَسَاجِدَ اللَّهِ مَنْ آمَنَ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَأَقَامَ الصَّلَاةَ وَآتَى الزَّكَاةَ وَلَمْ يَخْشَ إِلَّا اللَّهَ فَعَسَى أُولَٰئِكَ أَنْ يَكُونُوا مِنَ الْمُهْتَدِينَ. Only he shall inhabit the masjids of Allah who believed in Allah and the last day, who established the salah, who continually gave the zakah, and did not fear anyone other than Allah. Such people are hopeful of being among the guided. Mentioned by Surah Tawbah. في بيوت أذن الله أن ترفع ويذكر فيها اسمه يسبح له فيها بالغدو والآصال رجال لا تلههم تجارة ولا بيع عن ذكر الله وإقام الصلاة وإيتاء الزكاة يخافون يوما تتقلب فيه القلوب والأبصار. In those houses which Allah has ordained to be raised and that His name to be remembered, they in remembering Him, they in morning and evening, men whom neither trade nor sale can divert from the remembrance of Allah, the establishing of salah and the giving of zakah. They remain fearful of that day when hearts and eyes will be overturned. Mentioned by Surah An-Nur. The houses in the above verse refers to the masjids. Among the etiquette of a masjid is that a person should not enter it while in a state of major impurity, and any impurity should not be taken inside. There must be no noise, worldly occupations, and talk should not be carried out inside, and one should not enter it after having eaten something which has an offensive smell. Bayan al-Quran. Hadith. Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, The most beloved of places in the sight of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu are the masjids, and the most abhorred places in the sight of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu are the commercial centers. Mentioned by Muslim. Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, the masjids are the houses of Allah on earth. They glitter for the inhabitants of the skies, just as the stars of the skies glitter for the inhabitants of earth. Mentioned by Tabarani. Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates, I heard the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, whoever builds a masjid in which the name of Allah is remembered, Allah builds a house for him in paradise. Mentioned by Ibn Hibban. Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever goes to the masjid in the morning and evening, Allah makes reparation for his hospitality in paradise for each time he goes to the masjid in the morning and evening. Mentioned by Bukhari. Abu Umama radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, going to the masjid in the morning and evening is included among waging jihad in the cause of Allah. Mentioned by Tabarani. Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that when the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to enter the masjid, he would say, أعوذ بالله العظيم وبوجهه الكريم وسلطانه القديم من الشيطان الرجيم. I seek refuge in Allah the Mighty through His noble essence and His eternal authority from Shaitan the accursed. When this supplication is made, Shaitan says, this person has been protected from me for the entire day. Mentioned by Abu Dawud. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the person who loves the masjid, Allah loves him. Mentioned by Tabarani. Abu Darda radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates, I heard the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, the masjid is the house of every righteous person. Allah Jalla Jalaluhu has taken it upon Himself to provide comfort and mercy to the one whose house is in the masjid, to make easy the way across the Sirat, the bridge which every person will have to cross in the hereafter, to bless him with His pleasure and to bless him with paradise. Mentioned by Tabarani. Muaz ibn Jabal radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Shaitan is a wolf to man like a wolf to sheep. He snatches the sheep which is away from the main flock, which is alone. You should therefore abstain from living alone in the mountain passes. Be particular in remaining with the main body of Muslims, the general masses and the masjid. Mentioned by Ahmed. Abu Sa'id radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you see a man frequenting the masjid, be witness to his iman. Allah Jalla Jalaluhu said, only he shall inhabit the masjids of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu who believed in Allah and the last day. Mentioned by Tirmidhi. Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the Muslim who inhabits the masjid for salah and the remembrance of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, Allah Jalla Jalaluhu becomes happy with him, just as the family members of a missing person become happy at his reappearance. Mentioned by Ibn Majah. Note, inhabiting the masjid means having a special affinity with the masjid and going to it regularly. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to make amal upon whatever we have listened to, and may He give us the tawfiq to send this to others, inshallah. Subhanallah bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayh.